What's goody? Hey man, so day one of NBA free agency for this offseason is over with. So let's go ahead. Let's look at every major thing that happened and let's see who won, who's winning so far in free agency, who's losing, and just some interesting things that have happened. The first thing I want to talk about, this isn't a free agency thing, but this is a trade that happened. The Denver Nuggets traded Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032 first round pick to the Nets for Cam Johnson. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. At first, I didn't love this deal for the Denver Nuggets, and I still am not like the biggest fan of this deal for the Nuggets because they have to give up a first round pick. But when you consider the fact that Michael Porter Jr. and Cam Johnson damn near average the same amount of points on the same efficiency, and you think that Cam Johnson is going to be a better defender, or you think that you'll be able to at least get him to buy in more consistently on that end than MPJ, and you look at the contract situation, the contract difference, I understand the deal for them. Again, I don't love giving up a first round pick that probably is going to be a good pick in 2032 because you don't know where Jokic is going to be at that point. You don't know what's going to be going on with the Jamal Murray at that point and everything like that. Like, Jokic could very well be in his last season. Jokic could very well be already retired by that point. You never know. Jokic could be out of Denver somehow by that point. So it's that first round pick being so far in the future. I don't think anybody has any idea what that value is really going to be just yet. So I guess it'll really take time to see if we're gonna love this deal or not. But I do think this gives them more flexibility with like the roster menu, the roster construction, and everything like that that they can do. And I think that was a big thing that the Denver Nuggets needed. So for that reason, I'm going to say that I like this trade for Denver. And then for the Brooklyn Nets, like I said, they get a pick that's probably going to be valuable by the time it is by the time that draft comes up. And MPJ can just go over there and shot chuck. I mean, they're taking on a bad contract. That's all it is, and they got a first round pick for Michael Porter Jr. for Cam Johnson. I'm interested to see, like, I hope a report comes out about what other teams were kind of in the market for Cam Johnson and what they were offering, because I do want to see if there was deals out there that had more first round picks or just a better deal in general. Um, but I'll say I probably like this more for the Nuggets than for the Nets, as of right now, at least. Okay, on to some free agency stuff. We know that Nas re-signed his 5-year, $125 million deal. I'm assuming that they didn't do this with the intention of him coming off the bench, and they also re-signed Julius Randle to a 3-year, $100 million. So I'm assuming that Rudy Gobert is probably gone, or yeah, I'm just assuming that Rudy Gobert is probably gone because you don't pay Nas Reed $25 million a year to have him come off your bench. Um, I like the money that he got. I like the money Julius Randle got though. The Warriors, the Bulls traded Lonzo Ball to the Cavs for Isaac Okoro, a 1-for-1 trade. I thought about making a video by itself just on this entire trade, but I didn't think I had enough to talk about. But honestly, the Bulls front office might be the worst one in sports. The fact that there was a first round picks on the table at the deadline, and now you just downgrade a player and you help a team that is in your conference get better while you take a player on that team that had no fit, had no place, it just wasn't a good player. Terrible move. The Warriors, them and Jonathan Kaminga sent like they agreed on like a 7.9 million qualifying offer. So he's now a restricted free agent. I'm interested to see if something is gonna like match that and see what the Warriors are gonna do with him, or if they're just gonna sign and trade him. Davion Mitchell signing a 2-year, $24 million deal to return to the Heat. I like Davion Mitchell on the Heat, and I'm a big fan of him in general, so I like that deal. I'm not gonna do everything. Guard Sam Morril signs a 4-year, $38 million contract to stay with the Cavs. Okay, Clippers forward Batum is declining his 4.9 million player option. He is now a free agent. Um, Garrett Temple signing a 1-year deal to the Raptors for a little less than $4 million, and I don't care about the Dylan Jones trade. Dylan Jones. OKC signed Jalen Williams, not J Dub, but J Will, to a 3-year, $24 million deal. People were hating on this, but like he played some solid minutes, not in the finals, but just on that playoff run, especially in that Denver series. I thought in the minutes that he got, he was very impactful, so I like this for him. LeBron's exercising his $52.6 million player option, and with the fact that the Lakers have not done a single thing good in free agency so far, there's a pretty good chance that LeBron's gone. But we'll see if that happens, and we'll see. We'll talk about that if and when it becomes a reality, because I'm not sure just how realistic it is. I just think LeBron, this is probably his last season, to be honest with you, and I think that's super, super sad. The Malik Beasley thing is insane. I'm not even going to talk about that right now. So Dorian Finney-Smith declined his $15.4 million player option for the 2025-2026 season, and he went to the Houston Rockets. Let me just go ahead and let me see what exactly that deal was. Let me go ahead. I just want to see the exact money that he got from the Houston Rockets and everything like that. Yeah. I don't care about any of this. I'm just looking for. Oh, DFS agreed to a 4-year, $53 million deal with the Houston Rockets. They have all the wings in the world, and they just got their wing depth even better behind Kevin Durant. I love this for them. I don't think he's a starting caliber player on a really good team, and I think that the finals or the playoffs with the Lakers prove that. So getting him as a depth guy, I think, is really huge for them. I love this move for them. The only questions I really have about them are like, I'm not the biggest lover of like their center core, but I do think Alfred Sengun and Steven Adams showed me some really good things in that Golden State Warriors series, even though they lost it. So I'm not gonna hate on that too much. And then the guard core, I don't love too much, but we'll see what Reed Shepard can be next year as a backup because he should be getting real minutes. Jordan Clarkson finalizing a contract buyout with the Utah Jazz, so he's going to be joining whatever team wants him and whatever team he wants to join this summer. Batum signed a 2-year, $11.5 million contract to return to the Clippers, which is why he declined his player option. Day'Ron Sharpe returning with the Brooklyn Nets, 2-year, $12 million deal. Joe Ingles is signing a 1-year deal with Timberwolves for a little less than $4 million. I don't care about any of this. Zaire Williams, 2-year, $12 million deal to the Brooklyn Nets. Okay, and then let's go to the other stuff, and then we'll get up out of here. New York Knicks are still looking for a coach. They went out there and they're going through a second interview with Mike Brown. I'm interested to see like what's up with like the Taylor Jenkins possibility. What's up with the Mike Malone possibility? Is there not mutual interest? Or, like I don't know what that what's all going on there. Can they not afford one of them? I have no idea. Jaren Jackson Jr. They're expected to agree. Him and the Grizzlies are expected to agree on a 5-year, $240 million maximum extension that would include a player option in the final year, which would be 2030. Which I mean, they got rid of Desmond Bane, and we have figured that was because they didn't want to pay Bane and Jaren Jackson. So now it's looking like they're going to pay Jaren Jackson. I don't hate it. They also did just sign. They did just agree to a 3-year, $52.5 million deal with Santi Aldama. Now he is a restricted free agent, so another team could still match that, but I just don't see that happening. Paul Reed returning to the Pistons on a 2-year, $11 million deal. I think that's good for them. I don't care about this. Trey Jones, he's returning to the Bulls on a 3-year, $24 million deal. I don't really care about that too much. This one, though, is very interesting. D'Angelo Russell going to the Dallas Mavericks on a 2-year, $13 million deal. In a year where they're not going to have Kyrie Irving, I think that's huge for them just to get a point guard that is serviceable, and he will be a good backup when Kyrie is back. And that's why I think they signed him to a 2-year deal, so that way when Kyrie is back and they have a fully healthy team, hopefully 2 years from now, that he can be a depth point guard for them. I love this move for the right now and for 2 years in the future for the Dallas Mavericks because they are going to be doing everything in their power to contend when their team is fully healthy. So I love this move for them. Ty Jerome is going to the Memphis Grizzlies on a 3-year, $28 million deal. There were a lot of rumblings about him possibly going to the Hawks, but he is instead going to the Memphis Grizzlies to be a depth point guard for them. I'm not a huge Ty Jerome fan, but he did just have a phenomenal season, so you getting him on a 3-year, $28 million deal if you're a Grizzlies fan is not bad at all. KPJ going back to the Bucks on a 2-year, $11 million deal. They just needed somebody, to be real with you. They just need bodies, so whatever. Bruce Brown going back to the Denver Nuggets on a 1-year deal. The money isn't in here, but he's going there. He's going back to Denver. They need depth. They just need depth. So they're just getting a player, and I honestly don't really care about this one at all. Kevon Looney, a guy that has been a Warrior for his entire career, is now with the New Orleans Pelicans, teaming up with a guy that he used to be teammates with in Jordan Poole on a 2-year, $16 million deal. I don't know because they got Derek Queen and they have Yves Messi, so I mean, I'm not sure that he's really going to play too much for them, but I don't think that they really need him to, and I don't think they really signed him with the intention of him being a real rotational player. But I do like about this is that this is a guy that knows what it takes to win. This is a guy that in your locker room is going to be a good vet more likely than not, in my opinion. So getting him for your 2 young centers, I think, is a huge thing. Just for him to be a mentor, I like that. Luke Cornett leaving the Celtics. He got a 4-year, $41 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. He is going to be Wemby's backup. I like this for the Spurs. I think they needed a backup big, and I think Luke Cornett is a good backup big. He's a serviceable backup big. Clint Capella, 3-year, $21.5 million deal with the Houston Rockets. That's right. I forgot about this because this is something I actually really wanted to talk about. I love this for their center core. You're not expecting him to do too much. He's not going to be tasked. He's not going to be taxed as heavily as he would have been on a team like the Lakers. On the Hawks, he was a backup, but he's not going to be taxed as heavily like on a team like the Lakers where they thought he was going to be a starter, where they needed him to be a full-time center. This sucks for the Lakers because I don't know what you're going to go out there and do in the center market. Apparently, there has been no talks between them and the Brooklyn Nets to go out and get Nick Claxton, which may either means they don't want Nick Claxton is too expensive for them, or Nick Claxton is not available. Who knows? But yeah, this sucks for the Lakers, but I do love this for the Houston Rockets, and that was one of the 2 things I was saying was that I'm worried about their center depth. They just fixed that, so good for them. Karis LeVert, 2-year, $29 million deal with the Pistons. I love this for them. He's going to be a good bench shooting guard, especially with the fact that we don't know what's going to happen in the Malik Beasley situation. We still don't know how was Jaden Ivey. We still don't know how Jaden Ivey is going to fit with this team. I'm a big Jaden Ivey fan, but I'm not the biggest fan of his fit with this team. So whether he's going to be a starter for you or a bench player, I think this is a good thing. Good thing for the Pistons. Brook Lopez is leaving the Milwaukee Bucks, and he's signing a 2-year, $18 million deal with the Clippers. Going to be a good backup for Zubac, and I think this sucks for the Bucks. The Bucks, man, that pick that the Pelicans gave up to get Derek Queen, that pick that they gave up that's going to the Hawks is looking better by the day, man. The Hawks might be my winners of the offseason so far. I think everything they have done has been absolutely phenomenal. Because the Bucks are just going to be even worse now that they don't have Brook Lopez. So them getting that pick, that's probably going to be a lottery pick at the very least. And I don't even love the Pelicans roster. So that pick could still just be even worse. But man, the Bucks are going to be trash next year. Giannis, I'm praying for you, brother. I really wish you the best because your team is going to suck next season. For the Clippers, like I said, I love this for them. Good backup center, and it's just a 2-year deal, and he's 80 years old. So smart for you to not sign him for anything longer than a 2-year. Luka Garza going to the Celtics, 2-year, $5.5 million deal, trying to replace Luke Cornett. The Celtics are just going to be ass, to be honest with you. Next year, the Celtics are going to be terrible. There's talks about what they might do with Anthony Simons, and I kind of want to see Anthony Simons on this team a little bit at least first. So I hope they don't just go out and trade him or do anything right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did because at this point, you might as well just be ass. Try to get your pick as high as it can be. The Atlanta Hawks are sending a 2027 second-round pick via Cleveland and cash to the Minnesota Timberwolves to acquire Nickeil Alexander-Walker via sign and trade. Like I said, I love everything the Atlanta Hawks are doing next year. They're going to be a playoff team in the East. The Knicks, the Magic, the 76ers should be, these are teams that are going to be real playoff teams in the East next year, and I'm excited to see it, man. The Hawks could make a lot of noise come playoff time next year. I think, like I said, I think everything they have done with this offseason has been phenomenal. Tyus Jones agreeing to a 1-year, $7 million deal with the Orlando Magic. I love this for them as well. They need more point guard depth. They need a real point guard, and I think Jace Richardson was a phenomenal draft pick. I think this is a good pickup in free agency. So W for the Orlando Magic. I think they've gotten much better during this offseason as well. Luke Kennard going to the Hawks, 1-year, $11 million deal. He's a shooter. They lost Bogdanovich last year, and he hasn't done a damn thing, so it seems looking like a good thing that they lost him. Kevin Huerter hasn't done a damn thing for them, so just getting a guy that is a specialist at that shooting, a specialist at shooting the ball is phenomenal for them, and it's a 1-year, $11 million deal, so if it doesn't work out, it's just a 1-year rental, and you don't care about it. Mason Plumlee going to the Hornets. They just lost Mark Williams, and they lost Nick Richards last season, so they need some centers. They need somebody to play that position. Taurean Prince going to the Bucks. They just need bodies. Jordan Clarkson is expected to sign with the Knicks. They needed this. He's a bench scorer. He's a guy that's going to give you some good things off the bench, and you don't have Tom Thibodeau there anymore, which I think is good for this reason because I don't think he's a Tom Thibodeau guy. So I think you not having Tom Thibodeau there anymore probably is a good thing for Jordan Clarkson. You need more guard depth. I don't want to see Cam Payne playing real playoff minutes ever again. So the fact that you got Jordan Clarkson is just a nice upgrade after he clears the waivers. We'll see what the money ends up being. And then Gary Trent Jr. returning to the Bucks. Again, they just needed somebody. They needed somebody to do something for them. They needed bodies, period. So good for y'all that y'all were able to get Gary Trent Jr. back. And it's a pretty cheap deal. It was like a 2-year, $11 million deal, something like that. So it's pretty cheap. They just need bodies. I was interested to see if he might go to a good team. Like I was thinking he might go to like the Lakers or something, just because they always are looking for shooting, and you never know what the Lakers need. But staying with the Bucks, so good for him. I'm a Gary Trent Jr. fan. Liked him at Duke, and then he played for my Raptors, so I like him. But yeah, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you liked what your team was doing in your free agency. Let me know who you think winners and losers of free agency are. I think the biggest winners right now for me, I love what the Rockets are doing. I love what the Hawks are doing. Sucks for the Bucks. Sucks for the Lakers because you just haven't gotten anybody, and the center market's looking worse and worse by the day. And I think that's pretty much it for me right now. So, yeah, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching. All glory to God as always. God loves you, and so do I. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. Let me know what type of content y'all want to see. And tell a friend to tell a friend, man. If you like the content, share it. All right? I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for watching, man. Peace out.